what I'd really love to play along with the Disney film, for example. That would be fun.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time in the channel, hit subscribe right now. Chris from Ahab, thank you so much for your time today. Let's just get straight to the point. I'm gonna say finally. It's been a while since we saw a new album from you guys. It's not that you've not been busy and that we haven't seen any kind of releases from you guys, but it's been a while, what, 8 years since the last album? Does that mean that you are in a point where, like, yeah, you're excited for a new release, you're worn out from a very long time to get an album done, or are you in the mindset of I'll believe it when I see it before you get excited?
Well, actually, it didn't feel that long for us. Because, life happened, you know. I mean, there are, when we started out back in 2015 with the Boats of the Glencarrick, there was one kid. Now there are 5 kids, or no, even 6 kids now in the band. Yeah. We've been on the road. We had to rehearse for the road, and you know, then around came Corona and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It didn't feel that long, but we were aware of having to put out another album since 4 years now.
Am I correct that this is the first time you're tackling 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne?
Yes and no. Yes, because it's the first time we really did it.
Yeah.
But I think it was The Giant when we first thought about doing something with Jules Verne and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. But we didn't do back then, so yes, it's kind of the first time we're tackling.
Which for a band like Ahab, it's almost crazy that after 20 years of the band, it's only maybe it needed an almost 20-year anniversary to tackle that story. Personally, my introduction to the story was not the book, but the 1950s film adaptation when I was a kid. Was that the same for the band members, or?
Of course. I mean, when you're a kid, you obviously don't read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, at least at that age, when I first saw the film. And I still love the film, actually. It still works for me, at least.
Yeah. I had a chance to listen to the full album, obviously. Is that just in my mind, or did certain parts of the soundtrack of that movie seep into some of the songs? I'm thinking particularly of Mobilis in Moby. Is that true?
No, not at all. But there's one tiny part of the film music in it, and that's the very last few notes of the solo on the first track, Professor.
Okay.
But no, Mobilis in Mobilis has nothing to do it with it at all.
Okay.
At least not conscious, because
Yeah. Before going into the music and all your plans and so on, let's really focus on this story for a moment, because it is such a layered story. It's, you know, maybe when I was a kid seeing that movie for the first time, I only really picked up on the straightforward adventure tale. But obviously, if you rewatch the movie or read the book, it goes so much beyond that. But the movie actually does also tackle some of the deeper themes of this story. There's elements of the big or dark deeds people do, fueled by personal emotion, their commentary about industrial revolution on nature, and so much more. Important for you as an artist to also translate that deeper meaning into your songs then?
Yes, I mean musically it's hard to translate the deeper meaning in that, but lyrics wise, of course, yeah. That I mean, Nemo is quite fascinating character. He's, for me, actually, he's a philanthropist, but he was made by civilization into a misanthropist, and
right.
He has all these great ideas about, I mean, the Nautilus science and stuff like that, and but he uses it actually to take revenge in a way, or probably even hide this technology from the civilization, because he's not sure what they would do it with it.
Did that mean that when you were tackling that source material, that you have to take more time, and that you want to make sure you stay very respectful? I mean, it is one of the best known books, and a million books have been written about that book. So is that a daunting task to translate something like that into music?
Kind of, but it didn't take that much time to write the lyrics, because for me, it's lyrics have to come from within, not necessarily being too much thought about, because of course that you have to rephrase words and find words, and of course that takes some time, but the main part of the lyrics, the meaning of it, or what you want to transport in the lyrics, that comes quite fast actually.
Okay.
And most of the time I put something personal into the lyrics as well, which not necessarily have something to do with the story, but on the other hand, of course, if you read them, they should have.
Right, yeah. Both the album and the original story. I know the movies are often slightly different, but the original book and the album have a bit of an open ending, which also allows, Verne did that actually after the fact, to go back to that world and explore some of it. How is that with you guys? You've tackled multiple famous works of art before. For you, is this like, hey, we've done this album now and it's wrapped up, and next time we will look at something completely different? Or have you left the door open for yourself to revisit?
Well, I think so. I mean, it's the same with, for example, take Back to the Future.
Right.
I mean, the first film could have been it, and it would be perfectly fine. And that's a bit the same way I think about second parts of a story. That, I mean, it's perfectly fine that it's an open end and you can do up whatever you think of, and that's fine, and that's the magic about the books. I don't think we do another part of Nemo.
Yeah. One person's struggle and sometimes demonization, and in this story, the subsequent depression that goes with that, is something that you guys bring to life beautifully in the video, the very cool video for Colossus. That feels special. That's something that I assume everybody that worked on our project is extremely proud about.
Yes, indeed. I mean, that was always a dream of me, even I think since the second album, to do something with stop motion. And it's just I mean, if you have a look at the Tool videos, for example, I just love them. I think it feels a bit in the same vein of the Tool videos, but then again, also this puppeteer stuff that you watched in TV when you were a kid and stuff like that. So it's all mixed in, some nostalgia.
The music also tells a story, and I find with this album, maybe more than before, it's easier for me to kind of like close my eyes and not even listen to the lyrics, and I still kind of know what's going on. Like I can hear I'm above water or I'm underwater. There's action going on. Is for a band like you guys that are, you know, epic and bombastic as much as nostalgic and melancholic, that is also really, really important that the music tells a story that way. How do you go about like how do you think about that up front? Do you need to have do you know where your lyrics will take you to then compose, or just like you said, lyrics have to come from inside and out without too much thinking? Is that similar for the music?
Yes, kind of. I mean, we come to the music and to the lyrics from many ways. I mean, on one hand, there is an idea I have for lyrics, for example, and I tell Daniel, and he composes something that fits the lyrics, or Daniel composes something and shows it to me, and I have something in mind, and I read the book, and I find these phrases or these words that stick, and that fits perfectly to this song, and that's how it develops, the whole album.
Yeah. Okay.
But of course, I mean, everyone in the band reads the book before we start anything about music. Most of the time, I mean, some parts existed somewhere, but then again, when you read the book, you can tell this part we need to put on the album.
Right. Almost, you know, if you had hours to play, because that's a bit the downside of being an epic doom band, where, you know, there are no short songs. You have to, you know, you're gonna have to make choices. Where an album like this, it almost feels like it wants to be played in one go, start to finish live. Is that something that is keeping you and the other members up at night already today? Like, how are we in the right way taking this from an album to a live show?
Well, it depends. I mean, we thought about playing the whole album live on our release show this Saturday, but then we thought, what's it like for the listener, for the one that comes to the Ahab concert? And we thought, well, probably that's not a good idea, because most of the people don't know the songs, and you play like 70 minutes of songs nobody knows. Of course, 2 songs they know, but I think that could have been a bit boring, probably. Or let's put it differently. I mean, it would be, people want to hear the songs they know, obviously.
Right.
And I'm the same. When I go to my favorite band, I want to hear my favorite songs. Yeah. So we made a compromise, and we play 4 songs, and it's always fun when you play new songs. You never know how they work live, and Mobilis in Mobili, for example, is a nice live song, and Colossus is a very nice live song. But also The Sea as a Desert, which we're gonna play, it's really fun to play it live.
Talk about like the live setting, and you mentioned like, you don't always know how things will come up. From different interviews with different members, I gather that although the album sounds very layered and there's a lot going on, like I said before, that surprisingly little modern techniques and tricks are used with this recording, and that there's a very natural sound to the recording process. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yes, it's a modern recording in one way that you can re-record something, but one track of the guitars is just me and Daniel playing simultaneously to the backing track of the drums. Mm-hmm. And that makes the guitar sound very natural and very dynamic, because you never are on point when you play simultaneously. Yeah. On the other hand, this time we recorded with very few effect pedals, and we had this huge plate reverb, plate hall machine that I think it's from the 60s or 70s, which the studio bought somewhere as something that wanted to would have been thrown away,
right?
Stuff like that. And we used old amps. I mean, there have so many classic amps in this. Really music nerds that run this studio. Yeah, so I mean, we did some tricks, but the old ones, not the new, with all this editing and you know.
Yeah. It's going to be a busy year for you. Lots of shows have already been announced. For all the fans watching this video, what should they keep their eyes open for?
Well, next thing to keep your eyes open is another video from us. It's more a live video, which we shot at the MS Stubnitz, which is a ship we played in some weeks or 1.5 months ago, which was amazing setting. And of course the new album this Friday, and we're gonna play some festivals this year, and I don't know all yet, but yeah, there are gonna be some shows this time.
Chris, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. And I wish you guys all the best with the release show and the release cycle of this cool new album.
Thank you for having us.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.